It's a lot of shoes. Like, a lot. Hey guys, thanks for watching our videos. If you're listening to just the audio, head over to our website. We have the latest videos up every time. The one you're looking for is not there. Just head over to our YouTube page. That's where it'll be at. Don't forget, sign up for our newsletter. You get 10% off. You get exclusive weekly content and first chance at giveaways. And sometimes we might just give away stuff for free. Don't forget to follow us on social media for some good times too. Hope you enjoy. Live love. I'm actually hanging out at work today. It's a little bit slow, so I figured to take some time and talk about something that comes up extremely frequently. Now that we get asked our recommendations, but every time I fit somebody with shoes, typically there's always a comment on, typically I'll wear like a thinner sock or I'll wear a thicker sock when I'm trying it on. And unless you're going to like a super thick like boot sock, really thick wool ones, the fit's not going to be affected a ton. The feel can be different though, and that's what we're going to cover on some of the socks today though. But primarily I just want to give you some recommendations on socks, okay? Because they do make a hell of a lot of difference. It's amazing to people the comfort differences that come from choosing a nice sock that, yeah, you pay $10 to $12, $13 for a pair of socks, but the ones I recommend, they'll last you a while. I've had pairs for years when I originally worked here back in 2012 and 2013, and they look okay, besides the white ones being a little bit stained maybe, they look pretty much the same. So basically there's two types essentially, and really with types it's thicknesses. So you either go for like a thin sock, which really is just, it feels more like a dress sock. I hate that feeling in a running shoe. For me, a thinner sock feels like I'm moving in a shoe, like I can slide around. It's fine in a dress shoe because usually you're not walking around a ton. Because even in dress shoes, sometimes I'll wear a thicker sock just because I don't want to wear a thinner one and feel like I'm slopping around if I'm moving a lot, especially in the heel. Forefoot and heel are where I feel it the most. Let me adjust. So with the heel, it's mostly that vertical movement. People get blistering all the time. And then the forefoot just being able to kind of move a little bit side to side. Yeah, there's a little bit of movement that naturally kind of happens in a shoe. But there's also some swelling that occurs. That's why we leave a little bit of space right up front, usually about a thumbnail's length. But a thin one, I feel like I'm moving too much. But some people, especially with how they wear their shoes, some people like them tighter, will wear a thinner sock. So it's personal preference, but keep in mind that a thinner sock can have you feel like you move around a little bit, and that can cause some friction. So I go for what's considered a thicker sock. Really, most of the socks, the thickness is on the bottom of it. So you can kind of see here's a thin band in the center on these features. So the thin band on the center on these features is just kind of a compression band in the center, but thickness is up the toes, up to the top of the toes. So this section up top, that chunk is thinner. Top of the toe, ball of the foot, that's all thicker. So this is a little bit more material to it. And you can see where it's thicker and where it's thinner. You can see that where visually it's thicker, thinner. And that's the kind of sock I like. So those are really the basics for the socks. Now,
there's a wide variety of socks. I've had all sorts. I've had Features, Balegas, Asics. I've had Brooks socks. I've had the Wigwams. I've had Injinji, the toe socks. So I've had a lot, and there's a few favorites that I prefer. And there's going to be some recommendations. So if you're looking for a sock, just kind of everyday beat-up sock, go with a Brooks or an Asics multi-pack sock. I mean, they're not the highest quality, not the like super comfy. Like I love to slide on other socks, but these will get it done. There's a relay I do in July. Love wearing these socks, just because I know I can trash the crap out of them and not worry about it. You know, good bang for your buck. They may not last you as long, but that's the thing is, I mean, you'll spend, you know, 15, 16 bucks on a 3-pack instead of $10 to $12 on a single pair, but they'll do the job. Now, the Asics and Brooks, I've had both and I like them both. They do good quality for the price. They'll be a little bit thinner, and they're just not, overall they're just not as comfortable. But more companies, especially when it comes to a no-show length, these are old. Those are pairs that I've had for years. I don't have any left though, because I outgrew them too. Are starting to do this little tab on the back. So with how the heel sits, that sits right on top of the heel of the shoe. Because the problem is with some of those cheaper socks, is a problem that I had with the Wigwams, and that's why Wigwams are not ones that I recommend. They tend to be thinner, tend to be not as comfortable materials, they're not as soft, not as nice, but the heel. So the heel cup is an important part of the sock. Companies like Features and Balegas, and also my Injinjis, the heel cup is deep enough that it fits well to the heel, which, I mean, I'll wear my work shoes untied most of the time when I'm here and walking around doing stuff, and the shoe never bites, meaning that it never takes my sock and drags it into the shoe. So it starts to fall into the shoe and off my heel. I've never had that problem with Features or Balegas. So Wigwams are ones that I don't usually recommend. Not really a fan of them. Materials and the fit, really. Then, I mean, there's a bunch of others, but the two that I really recommend, especially the two that we carry here, are Features, and that's Feetures, pun on feet, because they make socks. They do an ultralight, and they do a light cushion, basically a thin versus a thick sock. Thin throughout, thicker in the heel and the forefoot. Personal preference, guys, but both are designed with that heel so they don't get bit, so they don't get drug into the shoe. Good deep heel, seamless, you don't have to worry about seams bugging your toes or bugging your heel or bugging anything else. So they fit really well and they're comfortable. Same thing with the Balegas. Most of theirs are going to be kind of a light cushion. They call them all different ones. They've got no-show versions, same thing with Features, and they've got quarter length, they've got crew length. It's personal preference on where you just want them to sit. I've got some crew length ones that I wear and some quarter length ones that I wear for wintertime, just in case things get kicked up so I don't get snow on my ankles and whatnot, because even though my tights go down, I like the overlap. Works better for me, but that's mostly the wintertime. I'll occasionally wear them like spring and summer, but unless it's a little bit chillier, usually I wear no-shows. Just my preference, my style preference. Doesn't matter. Same thing with colors. They'll offer different colors and patterns. Personal preference. Balegas are B-A-L-E-G-A. They're pretty much the same price, guys, between them. There's maybe $1 difference. Not a huge thing. They do have a slight fit difference. Features will fit slightly snugger, so a little bit tighter to the foot, if you like that. The Balegas will fit a little bit looser, so they don't have quite as snug of a foot, kind of a compression kind of feel for the Features. I've got a couple performance features on. I've actually got them on right now. I like them. They're not bad. I like a little bit looser feel because I like my toes to be able to move. So the third one that I recommend to people if someone wants to try them are the Injinjis. So INJI. They're toe socks, performance toe socks. So they're made of the same materials that are used in like the features and Balegas, but what you get instead are individual toes. Most people think of them and they think of those toe shoes, the Vibram Five Fingers. I have some of the Vibram Five Fingers, and that's a whole different story, but I don't just wear them for those. Most of the time I wear those actually without socks, but I actually love wearing them in my regular shoes. When I initially put them on, yeah, you can tell that you have something between your toes, but like almost immediately, I don't have anything. I'm done. I don't pay attention to them until I show somebody. They have thinner and they have thicker as well. They do have a compression one. They do have a quarter length. So everyone kind of varies it. So it's personal preference on that style point. It doesn't make a difference on fit. Basically all the companies are moving to no-shows having something like this heel where it'll actually grab. Besides that, it's just personal preference. If you'd like to have something no-show and you don't like your ankles covered, or if you like your ankles covered. I have people all the same. Injinjis do allow for, because the separate toes, a little bit of reduction in friction. I don't have a tendency for hot spots between my toes. If someone does have a tendency for hot spots between their toes, I'm either going to move them to a Balega, which is going to be a little bit looser feel. I'm also going to make sure their shoe is fitting right. Or I'm going to recommend they get a toe sock. The toe socks, because there's material between each toe, the materials rub, not your skin, less blistering. All of these I've never had issues with blistering. They move the moisture really well. They're comfortable. I mean, they're awesome socks. I've got a variety of them, and socks do make a heck of a difference, guys. Mainly in the comfort. So don't worry about like a thinner versus thicker when you're trying shoes on. It's more of, as in like the fit of the shoe. It's more of wear a sock that is what you'll traditionally wear. That way you get a proper feel. Because socks can change the feel a little bit, not necessarily the fit. It shouldn't. I mean, you're not going to have thick enough socks really for me to notice a severe lack in length, because I'm going to feel that anyways. I'm going to check with my hands so I can feel where your toe is, not where your sock is. And then also horizontally, just on the width, it's not going to change it that much either. But wear something that's kind of similar to what you normally wear for a sock, unless you're buying the same shoe again and you already know it fits well. Then you shouldn't have an issue. Just be mindful that your foot can grow, so if it's been a while since you've been measured, get measured. Your feet do continue to grow, guys. I see it all the time. Okay. So I'll provide links for each of these companies, guys, so you can check them out yourselves. For the three that I recommend, which are the Balegas, Injinjis, and the Features. They're really awesome. They've got some fun patterns too. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. Shoot something below. Shoot me an email, paul@trainathletics.com, or team@trainathletics.com. We'll get back to you. If not, if you got something you want us to kind of take a look at too, like if you've got a product that you're questioning, let me know. I'll take a look at it. It's probably something that I've seen and looked at. I'm a bit of a geek, so I'm starting to do more of these features for you guys. Because there's little things that I see all the time that I want to kind of give you. As always, live with love. Enjoy your mouth.